Hello, welcome back. So today we are going to show you the active isolated stretching for the hamstrings. We've got a little friend with us today that won't leave us alone, so hopefully he won't cause too many dramas. The hamstrings. So hamstrings are in the back of the leg. There's 3 of them, and we are going to use the trusty strap to take you through the hamstrings activated isolated stretching. So as you can see, Lisa's laying on the floor. His dog is optional. You know, everyone would probably rather a Jeremy as part of their hamstring
definitely
routine. So Lisa's laying on the floor. We're going to begin with stretching her right leg. As I said, the hamstrings are in the back of the thigh. She needs the strap, so what she's going to do is she's going to loop the strap over her foot.
Hold on tight, Jeremy. There we go.
Okay, so following the active isolated stretching principles, what she would do is so if you start in the lower position, Lisa, she would use the force of her own leg power to move the leg up into a straight position, and then using the strap, she would pull it into a little bit more of a stretch. Obviously, we hold these stretches for 2 seconds, as we have discussed previously. How's that, Lisa?
That's really good. I think the important thing is to really feel where the stretch bites, whether that's down here or up here or further up, and then just hold it slightly.
Oh, he's made himself at home. So this stretch is obviously stretching the hamstrings. This is stretching the hamstrings as a group, so all 3 together. As a bit of a regression for this, if you find that your hamstrings are very tight, you can start with a bent leg. That was just the phone, but obviously Dave pulled his finger out for once. Okay, so the regression is starting with the bent leg, so moving the knee up and then straightening as the last part of the movement. And again, holding it for 2 seconds, then releasing out of the movement.
Oh.
Okay, so now what we can do is we can look at segmenting the hamstring. So we can look at the outer hamstring. So as you can see, Lisa is wrapping the strap around the outside of the calf and then pulling it from the middle. And this time, as she's pulling it, she's generating a little bit of a twist. How's that, Lisa?
That's good. And so again, it's you lift the leg, don't you?
Yeah, you lift the leg. We never, activated isolated stretching, we never use the strap or towel or whatever you're using to help aid this movement to pull. You always move the leg into the position or the limb into the position of stretch. You use the strap to then generate that extra bit of stretch, and then you release out of it after the 2-second hold.
And hopefully what you can see is that I'm gradually getting a little bit further each time. I think it's quite important on this one to not really feel like you're pushing your back into the floor to create the stretch. So we're keeping that little gap, so you can always put one free hand between your lower back and the floor and sort of use an exhale as the leg comes up, so you can brace through the middle a little bit, so you feel the stretch at the back of the leg without rounding your back into the floor. Yeah,
definitely. As we always say with everything, positioning is very important. Okay, so that's the outer hamstring. So what we're going to do is we're going to reverse that with the strap. So wrap it round the other way, so the inside of the calf round to the outside, and then pull in the opposite way. So this is getting the inside of the inner hammies.
And what it does by wrapping it around is you'll see now my foot's turning in as I take hold with the band. And with that, it just stretches it more in towards the inner thigh.
But definitely have a play about, definitely something to consider if you're just used to stretching the hamstrings as a group. And as Lisa said, each time she moves the leg into position, uses the strap to generate a bit of extra stretch, and every repetition you get a little bit more stretch. So I'd repeat those 15 times, then you're getting your 30-second stretch that you're used to with a static stretch, then go away and have a play.
Yeah, so join us next time. We'll look at the front of the hip, so which follows on very nicely from this one because you've been using those muscles quite a bit. I can feel those now, although the hamstrings feel great, so join us next time for that one.